Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. I'm Craig from Iron Horse Railways, and you're watching The Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 7 p.m, and the Bronx are on parade. It's time for The Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of the Carpet Monkey, and your host with the Toast Topsy Toaster, and a wizard called Gandalf, featuring the sounds of the Glass 08 Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon, the music maestro. Let's get ready to loco! Ho, ho, ho! Ooh.
A big hello to you. It is so great to see you, and I hope I find you well. It's Monday, it's 7 p.m, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the Monday Club, and we've got Topsy back. He's had his holidays. Did you have a good time, Topsy? Where did he go?
He went to Toaster.
Toaster, yes. Which, if you've been wondering, like, there's a place in the UK called Toaster, yes, but it's spelt Towcester. For years I wondered where this toaster place was. But yes, he's got relatives in Toaster. So today, Monkey of Madness, what is today's topic for the
Allow
Monday
me to
Club?
quickly check on my
It's like, I wasn't ready for you to ask me questions at this
my notes say left turn, 3 health potions, don't trust elf.
No, I think you find that's Gamehammer Classic Gaming's notes.
No, the topic for tonight was actually put out to us by a member of the Monday Club Facebook page.
Oh yeah, last week.
Yes.
Last week's topic. That caused a bit of a stir.
It did, but the point was never to cause a stir. It was to just have
It
an
was to
actual
actually
lively
promote
debate.
a debate.
Yes.
So we're coming back with that. There's a few people suggested talking about social media, wasn't
Yes. Do YouTubers and social media ruin the hobby?
it? Yeah. Am I ruining the hobby? Am I?
No,
I don't think it's me in general. Me personally.
I think, yeah, but it's a fair question, which is why I thought we'd bring it up, because
Yeah.
social media has definitely changed the hobby.
Yeah, and one of the things, I think social media has changed an awful lot. We're old fogies, so we remember the world before the internet.
Yeah, when all this was just fields.
And social media is a relatively modern thing. You're talking, I guess, 20 years?
Yes, right at the start, the first social media is, of course, the blogs and the first webcams with the original cam girls like Jenny Cam and all that.
Jenny.
No relation to you. She was.
I was thinking, like, somebody, that teddy bear did seem to have an awful glint in one of its eyes.
Now, Jenny Cam was a student who just put a camera on her on her computer and sent it round. Sent it to stream.
Yeah, so
And it got. She didn't send it round. The word got round. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
For this camera always been on. It didn't update live stream. It was every 14 seconds or so.
Yeah, but the cameras, the webcams used to be like that, because you've got to remember we were on a dial-up connection.
Yes, it was a web camera, not a web video camera.
Yeah. And I remember Friends Reunited. Remember that? That was probably the first social media site. And the problem with social media that, I really do feel a lot of sympathy for younger people of today.
Who've only grown up with this.
Who've only got that. And there's no escape from it. Is that... Queen Mary.
Sorry, I couldn't help that.
Yeah. The problem is that it gives a very warped sense of the world around you.
Absolutely.
It's curated and edited, and it's made out to look like all the people on social media go, "Yay, look at me, I'm having a great time, aren't I amazing?" And there becomes this pressure to keep up with them. And in the model railway world, I guess there's an element of that. It's like, look at me, aren't I successful? Look, I'm out visiting this railway, and look at this, I've got access to all areas behind the scenes at Hattons and Daypol and wherever. And actually, my life isn't like that. And I know a lot of other YouTubers, they're only showing you the good bits. If they showed...
That's it, exactly. That's what the bit that I really wanted to highlight with this. They're only showing you the good bit. They're not showing you the hours of work that went into getting that behind the scenes at wherever. They're not showing you the amount of failures and rejections. Because, let's face it, no one wants to watch someone fail at getting an exclusive look. Or fail at getting an interview. They might want. Oh,
look at this! I built a kit and it's a complete pig's ear.
Yeah, that's it. And how can I put this in a way that doesn't sound horrible but is truthful? When you have a friend who all they do when you ask how they are is whine and complain.
How you doing, Teddy? Oh, I don't want to know about your problems, Teddy.
No,
that's
not. No, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If the only thing they ever do is complain when you ask how they are, you stop asking how they are.
Yeah, and I think everybody knows somebody like that, where it's always, oh, well, this went wrong and that went. And after a while, it gets tedious.
Yeah, there's a reason we call people Debbie Downer, because there is that kind of person.
Do we?
No, you know, you've heard the term.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I was like, oh,
I'm not picking on a particular person.
How is Debbie these days?
I'm not picking on a particular person. What I'm saying is that we have that phrase for a reason.
Yeah.
So, YouTubers, being aware of that, don't put all of that stuff into their videos. And Instagrammers don't put that into their photos.
Oh, Instagram's terrible. And if you've ever seen, and they usually have like taken the rip videos where it's like behind the scenes of, I was in a restaurant today and there was an Instagrammer in. Isn't this funny watching them set up the perfect and like, and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. And it's so fake, absolutely fake.
But they feel they have to do that because, let's face it, when we started with social media, what got popular? The really good blog writers, the really good photographers, the really
who
pretty
appeared
people.
To be doing really interesting stuff all the time.
But they weren't putting in the bits where they failed. So all you saw was the success. And as a result, if you want to get in on that, you've got to compete with that.
And I think in the model railway world, social media, let's not overlook the fact that social media has brought a lot of us together.
Oh, yes.
It's made it a lot easier to get inspiration, to share ideas. But I think a lot of it's got to be taken with a little bit of a pinch of salt. And I know a few people who kind of assume that my life is all milk and honey, and probably think a lot of the other YouTubers are the same. And
I can guarantee
it's not like that.
I can guarantee that New Junction gets the same thing as you do, and Sam's Trains gets the same thing as you do. Like, look how good they're doing. They must be making a fortune from this. They must be having a whale of a time. No,
I know
they're
Richard
working hard behind the scenes.
Yeah, I know Richard at New Junction quite well. Yeah, we chat with each other on Messenger an awful lot, and a lot of the experiences are the same. You know, I talked to Ollie at Wardle Road, Craig at Iron Horse Railways, a little bit to Charlie Bishop as well at Chadwick Model Railway. Talk a lot to Ken Patterson at What's Neat This Week. Everybody says the same. You know, it's hard work, and people don't often realise just how much work goes into producing content. I guess in some respects we're a little bit responsible for this. Oh, look how well they're doing, because we're not putting up the boring days, the bad days, the ones where things went wrong.
Because no one wants to see that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to put across.
I think there becomes a pressure maybe on other railway modelers to actually kind of live up to this dream that they see, and they think that that's reality. And it can be depressing if you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of money, and you see people posting like, oh, look at this fabulous scenery I've produced, and you look at it and I can't afford any of the stuff that they're using.
Thank you for saying that, because that is exactly why I thought this topic would work, because I thought the same thing.
Yeah, and
when I came into this and was talking about starting an Engage model railway, a few people actually tried to hold that against me, the fact that I hadn't started.
Yeah.
When they were trying to pick a fight. I didn't start for years because I had to save up.
Yeah, can I just interject here, because we haven't mentioned this yet, but to all the people who are going, why isn't the chat appearing on the screen? This, as we said last week, is a pre-record because we're having a bit of time off.
Yeah, we've been
Because
exhausted.
the reality of social media is that we're exhausted making ourselves look interesting. So we want to just like slob in bed and stuff, and have
Yeah.
a couple of days where you don't have to think about content. And that's the other thing, I guess, about social media. The curse of social media is that if you get big on social media, you actually, it's not a case of your hobby becomes your job. It's more a case of you lose your hobby.
Yes.
Because everything you do is, can I get content out of this? And you start to feel guilty if you do things just because you want to do it.
Oh man, the guilt is real.
Yeah, it's like, so coming up, right, so here we are on Weir Yard. You see it on your screens. We've got a huge model railway up here. Do you know how often I actually play with this? Almost never, because whenever I've got stuff running up here, if it's not the Monday Club, it's always seen through the lens of, I should probably be getting a video out of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that is the curse of social media. If you're one of the, I hate the word, but people get referred to as influencers. I absolutely hate that term. But you constantly feel like, I've got to get content out of this. And I guess on this channel, we've been doing for years and years 2 pre-record videos a week, plus the Monday Club live stream, plus occasional extras.
We used to do 5 a week.
Oh, we tried that for a while. That was just too much.
It ran me into the ground, and I had to take time off.
But it is hard work. And if you actually analyse what pretty much most social media people who, from the outside, you think, oh, they're doing really well, what they actually make and earn, it's not a lot. I've actually had to go back to work because it was really difficult.
To be fair, though, the only reason we started with you doing YouTube full time was because we wanted to see whether it was possible.
Yeah,
not because,
and also my job at the time came to an end, and it seemed like
it seemed like the right opportunity to try it.
Yeah, it wasn't that I left a job; it was that the job left me.
Yeah,
but it went, see ya, smaghead.
But that's kind of the thing. But what you were saying, the idea of influencer, unfortunately, it is true. It is an influence, and it's not necessarily a good one. It's like I keep saying. You only see the positives, so anyone that's looking at that is only seeing your success.
Yeah, like last
but they
week,
see their failures.
They see your perceived success through the lens of what they think are their own failures. And actually, I think that it's one of the things that's made us showing some of your videos, and we are going to be doing that later on in today's stream. So don't forget to send in all of your videos and pictures to zoe.robinson@gmail.com.
I was about to go and type that in the chat.
And please put Monday Club in the subject title, because it really does help.
We've got an automated system that puts them into the playlists that we can go through.
Yeah, because she gets a lot of emails.
Currently, I have...
it's like you've been signed up to every spammer going.
Let me have a quick check. At the time of filming this, I have 51,794 emails.
Yeah, okay.
You can't really see that.
No,
51,794.
Yeah.
It'd feel, because I used to be in politics, one of the things you do is, apparently, when you're going in politics, is you get targeted by people who sign you up for everything so that you will miss emails that are important.
Yeah, it's a kind of childish. I guess,
it's very childish, but
and
here's the one annoying thing. It works!
But I mean, it just shows that social media has been a bad thing for more than just our hobby.
But like I was going back to, when you see videos online, and it's true of the people that put videos in for us to show on the show, they're showing you their successes. They're showing you stuff that they're proud of, because of course they are. The same way that you show things that you're proud of.
But I think it's also...
Can I please finish this thought? When you see that, if you're not mentally prepared for this, you're looking at their successes and comparing them not to your successes, but your failures, because your brain is wired to learn from failure more than success. So you remember, oh, I had problems with that particular Metcalf kit. I had problems assembling that particular Wills kit. But look, they did it. They did it just fine. and it makes you feel worse.
And I think is one of the good things that we got when we share videos and pictures here on the Monday Club, and it's what we really, really wanted from the start, was people showed their working out. They showed where they came from.
Yes.
And they showed how they were doing things, how things developed. And I think that was important to create a much more normalised view of what people are up to.
Seeing progress.
And it's a bit like going back to the old days of, you'd go to the weekly meetup at the Model Rail Club and go, this is what I've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important.
We need to see more of that on social media so that people can see, their success is through time and error.
Yeah, so
and
other YouTubers do take note on that.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a series of...
I mean, that is assuming that people are watching this and are going, right, what can we copy?
You've got a series on building the garden railway. You had a series on building this model railway here, Weir Yard.
Oh, yeah.
Iron Horse has his series about him building his layout. PVA J Cloth Allen, we see him building
lovely
his
layout. I really enjoy how it comes together.
Yeah, exactly. That's the bit that we should be pushing more, rather than, hey, I've done this and it's fantastic. I want to see how you did it.
And then every once in a while, Mark Wilson gives us the snaps he took when he went back in time in his DeLorean.
Yeah, but I think the important thing is, yes, YouTube and social media, they've been good for bringing us all together. But you've got to look at it from the mindset of you're seeing only what people want you to see, not the reality.
Yeah, so don't get despondent if you look looking at some of the amazing models that Mark Wilson does. I know I look at them and go, I'll never be that good. But you shouldn't think like that. Actually, you should take inspiration and go, that's possible. I'll figure out a way of doing that.
Yes, that it's possible. He's done it. So in time with effort, because one thing that we don't know, how long did Mark take practicing? Over many years before we started seeing his photos. That's the thing with Instagram as well. When you said the behind the scenes stuff and you're laughing at the person spending time arranging everything to look perfect before they take the photo.
Yeah, that's the bit you don't see, but it's what you have to do to make it look so good.
That's what you had to do. But also the bit that you're not even seeing when you see the behind the scenes is how long did it take for them to learn how to arrange that in the perfect way to get the perfect photo.
I mean, for example, in my own story, you go way back. I started out working in broadcasting. So I had a lot of practice doing radio, and that's where I learnt to speak at great length about nothing in particular. But, it's true, speaking like this, of doing a show, doing a podcast, doing a live stream, even doing a pre-record video, it is a skill, and it's a difficult skill. And, sometimes I guess people look at this and go, I wish I could do that. It's like, well, I wasn't always able to do this. And I can remember doing my very first radio show, and I absolutely stank up the airwaves. I was rubbish at it. It was embarrassing. The only good thing going for it is there's no record of it, and because it was done on the graveyard shift. 2 a.m. till, I think it was 2 a.m. till 5 a.m. or something.
There was a record of it at one point.
Yeah, but
BBC's required by law to keep those things. They only had to
keep it for so long, and to be honest, the tape was expensive, so it got recycled. So a lot of it's that. I did a lot of stuff in broadcasting for a great many years. And I got to watch some very talented people at work from the sidelines. So when things like the Pan Am 103 case went on, with the court case out in
was it The Hague?
No, it was.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't
in the Netherlands. They did it on a military base, and it was deemed to be like sovereign Scottish territory. I
thought that was The Hague in the Netherlands. Well, no, that's Belgium, isn't it?
No, the whole point was they turned a military base into sovereign Scottish soil for legal purposes.
They shouldn't have given it back.
And then,
good bro.
And then things like the Concorde crash, where a piece of metal, I think it was, flicked up off the runway off a previous flight and punctured the fuel tank.
Oh my goodness!
And caused it to catch fire and take off. So things like that, So doing stuff like that. And also there was a lot of other journalistic stuff, investigative journalism. It's whenever you hear me talk about Google Food, that's just what we called it when we were actually trying to dig up stuff on
of
things.
course.
So all of that is my background. My background is broadcasting. I've done a lot of writing. So, that's the bit that you don't see that goes on behind everything I do.
Yeah.
And it was something that I've become a little bit reticent about actually showing my collection. Somebody asked on the last Monday Club about how many models have you got, and I felt a little bit embarrassed saying just over 400, because I think a lot of people, especially newcomers to the hobby, look at that and go, "Oh, I'll never be able to afford that." And actually,
affording is a big thing. Go on.
The unwritten thing behind all that is that's like nearly 25 years of collecting.
Yeah.
And having a good job in broadcasting that paid the readies to be able to afford it. Plus, I always say to people, I got lucky. I got very lucky in that when I got back into the hobby, sort of early 2000s, prices were really quite keen. There were still people moaning about the price because you always get them. But the reality was that, relatively speaking, models were cheaper, than they'd ever been.
Yes.
And I had a good job. So the combination of those two was quite simply that I went out and bought a lot of model rail stuff when you could buy Bachmann Mark 1 coaches for like under a tenner, when you could buy Bachmann 16-ton mineral wagons, the same tooling pretty much that we got now. They used to be able to get them for between £4.50 and £5 a wagon. That's just what shops charged. So it was very easy to build up a big collection. And, I see a lot of people time and time again go, "Oh, that Jenny Kirk, she just gets given all lots of stuff." Actually, we have to give a lot of that stuff back after we've filmed. And the stuff that you do get to keep, you've had to do a lot of work making video content out of that.
Yeah.
And usually they let you keep it so that it will appear in a future video.
And you've got to bear that in mind.
Yeah, so, it's not all milk and honey.
Yeah.
And, when we go and do a behind-the-scenes tour at Daypole and show how injection moulded stuff is made, it's a case of, well, if you come at this time on this day, we'll show you round. You have to take the day off to do all that. You still have to pay for your own way there and stuff.
Yeah, they're not paying for that.
No, they're not paying for that. You don't get wined and dined. So there's this illusion that it's like, yes, come on in, Jenny, access all areas, and it isn't necessarily like that.
Access some areas on our terms, which is perfectly legitimate. They want to present themselves the best way as well, and that's the other thing. It's very much a give and take, but they are putting on their best face, you're putting on your best face, and then when it comes to editing, I'm trying to make sure that both of those are equal.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked at a manufacturer before now, and you see the behind the scenes, behind the curtains. People getting fed up, and people going, "Oh, it's not working," and things going wrong. It's like, "Oh, the X, Y, and Z product, we can't get the parts to make it." We've got all these people whining and going, "Well, is my money not good enough? Why can't you tell me when X, Y, and Z's coming?" It's like, well, because you'll know when we know.
Yeah. But I think we're getting away from the topic a little bit there.
Yeah.
Because I want to go back to what I was saying about the Engage stuff.
Uh-huh.
When I started, there was one guy who was trying to cause trouble, and he said to me, he actually said to me, "What about that Engage layout you were talking about doing? Was that just fantasy?"
What?
And I know he was just trying to get a rise out of me, which is why it didn't work. But it does look like that from a certain point of view, because I said I was going to do an Engage build, and then 2 years later I hadn't.
Yeah,
and the reason was...
You've been busy.
Not just busy, but the reason was cost.
There is that as well.
I don't earn a huge amount from the work I do.
No.
And a lot of that goes on bills, so I don't have a huge amount of disposable income. And I'm looking at all this stuff. It's like, all these latest things, they're £100 and odd pound, they're £200. How can I justify that? So I end up getting second-hand stuff, and I love it. It's perfectly workable stuff, and it's in my budget. But it took me a while to get it.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to build.
But let's start to look at some of the positives of social media. And for anybody who's joined us and is wondering where the chat is, as we said at the start of the video, we actually said last week, if you caught last week's, which you should have done, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and ring the notification bell, and you'll be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. But yes, Topsy, back from his holidays. But today is a pre-record because we're exhausted. We're having some time off because we haven't had time off in a long time.
We might be in the chat. We might have fallen asleep and forgotten.
Yeah, there is that. You know, it's one of those things. But if you're wondering, today's Monday Club is a pre-record. So we'll put it out as we're going to put it out as like a premiere or something.
Yeah, I'll schedule it as a premiere.
So, and it's the same length. You're not missing any content.
Yeah.
And we will be showing some of your videos at the end, towards the end of the show, as per usual, because I think that's really important. And we've always said that the Monday Club is about being for the community, about promoting the hobby. It's like what Ken Patterson always says, this is the best hobby in the world. And I do agree with him. And it's not just because it's like, it's my hobby as well, I best pick up the home team. But actually, there's so many skills that you can learn in this hobby. And social media gives a great way to actually learn a lot of these, because there's always somebody on YouTube who knows how to wire a particular point, who knows how to access certain functions on a particular DCC controller, who knows how to wire in a sound decoder into a Quarry Hunslet. John JMC, our guru of sound, looking at you in particular. But, you know, there's always somebody who knows how to do these things and is prepared to put up content that shows you how. And I think that that is the great thing about social media. The difficulty is because, unfortunately, there's always somebody who treats it as like, can't do that, you can't do this, and like, oh, look at you, you're getting all these free...
they tend to be there all the time. Doesn't matter who's talking or where.
Because what you got to remember is their hobby is complaining.
Yeah, that is their thing. It's their main function.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of good on social media.
There is.
And during lockdown, and it's something we said, and we were actually on air when lockdown was announced. Yes. And we said there and then, and we stuck to that. We would be there for you guys all the way through. Not just that,
but I made sure that we had basically a web page that said, right, at this time on this day, this person is live streaming. We made sure that everyone was connected because it was important.
Yeah, and we were here for the community, and
Absolutely.
Not just that. You know, I've seen a lot of gatekeeping in social media influencers, where they studiously won't even acknowledge the existence of channels that they see as their competitors.
Yeah, you can't do that. You really can't do that.
That was something that I was adamant from the start. You know, this is about the hobby. This is about people's mental well-being, because there's a lot of people for whom, going to physical clubs and exhibitions and to model shops was a lifeline socially. It was a means to get out to meet like-minded people, and suddenly that was all taken away. And I think there's a lot of people. We got a lot of feedback through lockdown that there's a lot of people on their own. Yeah. Who would have otherwise felt very lonely, who saw stuff like the Monday Club as being an invaluable way of feeling that you were still connected with people.
When you couldn't get to your local hobby club, which is what they would normally have done for the socialisation, so we were there. So were a lot of other people.
So we produced the live stream guide, and it meant that the idea was that you could always find somebody doing a live stream for actual human interaction. And I'm very proud of the fact that we're not afraid to acknowledge the existence of other YouTube channels. It's not a game. It's not some kind of competition. And I do feel it kind of tragic and petty when, no, we will studiously never mention anybody else. And it's like,
Yeah.
what, do you live in a vacuum?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. People notice.
Yeah,
Because
they do.
the one thing that I always think when that happens is, if I'm being discounted, who else is being discounted? I'm very much of the opinion that you leave one person out, you're leaving more than one person out. I've noticed me. Who else?
Yeah.
And my friend's not allowed in either.
And
Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, when you don't get acknowledged for things that you know you did, and it's like, oh right, okay, somebody else taking the credit on that. Okay, that's how we're rolling this week.
Yeah, it does annoy me, but that is a bad part of social media.
Yeah, that is, again, we're back to the bad parts. You end up judging yourself and your personal worth by how much other people talk about you in a good way.
Not just that, likes. If you go on social media anywhere, on Facebook it's the like button, on YouTube it's the like button,
and the share button, and the subscribe button is another big one.
On Twitter it's the heart button.
Yeah, and the retweets.
Yeah, on Instagram it's the heart button. How many of those are you getting?
Yeah.
How many of those are you getting compared to the person that started up 6 years after you, but has zoomed up the charts, that kind of thing? You shouldn't do that, but it's natural to do it.
I mean, there seems to be something in the human condition that likes to collect things. We like to amass things.
We're a hunter-gatherer species.
Yeah, are you all right?
Sorry. Yeah, I just noticed that the top of your thing was go. We're a hunter-gatherer species. We collect it's part of our nature. But unfortunately, we also compare what we've collected to what other people have. And that, because we are a social animal, where do we fit in the hierarchy?
Yeah, I always find it weird. It's like we're all trying to be the alpha social media person, but in computing terms, it's quite funny because the alpha release is the one that's buggy as hell and has got lots of problems.
The alpha release is, well, it kind of works. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and then when we've ironed out the fact that it's a colossal prick, we'll release the beta version.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that social media has gamified human base nature. We are social animals. We are competitive hunter-gatherer predators.
Yeah.
And as a result, we compare ourselves to other people to see where we stand in the rankings. And that hurts us. Yeah, because everyone's chasing that extra bit.
See, I remember a very distinct memory going back. Because I remember at school, at the end of every year, they'd rank everybody in all of your classes. All the subjects. So, like in biology, where were you in the year group? In history, where were you in the year group? In maths. And I can remember it being very competitive. Because everybody knew where everybody else stood, and you wanted to be as high up that pecking order as possible. And I've often wondered about this. What is it that, as a species, we're after? Is it bragging rights, or do we want adoration from other people? Do we want other people to like us? Is it a popularity contest?
Of course it's a popularity contest. No one wants to feel unpopular.
And then again, the weird thing is that in the real world, a lot of people are like, I don't want to go out, don't like people. So why do you want to be liked by other people if you don't like actually being around people?
Again, it's human nature. We want to be liked. We want to be popular. We want people to think we're a good person.
And is it a legacy thing, do you think? You think, long after I'm gone, I want people to go, yeah, they were all right, they were.
It's just in human nature. We're a social species. We go together in packs.
No, you don't.
I don't, because I'm what's known as an evolutionary dead end.
Yeah, it's like, I shall sit in my little room surrounded by games and a cloud of fart gases. But
you know what I'm saying? You can't. And actually, this comes back to exactly what we're talking about. You can't judge the entirety by one or two people. It's just how it is.
And I feel
congratulations on selecting a camera that has no stains on it.
People will be admiring Jab Light. I'm looking at it actually without the chat over the top, because this is a pre-record. It's like, actually, that doesn't look too bad. Maybe we should move the chat somewhere else on that screen, because I quite like that.
We put the chat over the mountain because that way people got to see the trains.
I'm thinking I should be in the top left on that screen. Maybe move the branding for the Monday Club wagon. I have chased up Rapido Trains about that. In fact, where's my...
Your phone is here, my dear.
Let me see.
Olé!
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 Hey, come on.
Olé!
Hey, come on. We're against the clock. These people don't want to know how much of a wally you are.
Yes, they do.
Let's see. Do I have...
Well,
No, he hasn't got back to me.
he hasn't
I did
got back
ask.
to you yet.
He hasn't read the message, so
He's
he
busy.
gets a... Yeah. He works for a living.
And that's another thing. Social media. Everyone's become wanting an instant result. I've seen this so many times. Some people will go to social media and ask a question rather than go to Google and search for something.
Yeah, and then I love it when people come and say, "Here, let me Google that for you." And there's a website, "Here, let me Google that for you," which really shamelessly rips the mick out of
It
people.
does, but to a certain extent, that's another issue that social
Instant
media has brought.
gratification.
Yes,
And it's
and it all plays into the same thing.
it is interesting. Back when we were young, I can remember stuff being bought on the tick, as it was called, was frowned upon. It's like you were considered to be a bit of a failure if you bought stuff on credit. It was with the emphasis with the generation before us was very much, it's almost like a wartime mentality. If you wanted X, you had to save up for it, and then you could buy it guilt free.
Yeah.
And then I suppose it sort of started in the 90s and then it just exploded, was this idea of like buy now, pay later. And with it came this instant gratification, and that's played into social media. It's like, you put a post up, and I've come across people who they will post something and then get really disappointed because 4 minutes later nobody's got round to liking it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe they're at work.
And that's, again, what comes back to what we were saying at the start.
Mm.
You don't see what other people are doing.
Mm.
You see only what you want to see or what they show you. You don't
Yeah.
see the fact that everyone hasn't logged in yet because
Yeah.
they're at work. All you see is the result.
Yeah, and I think that on the grand balance of schemes, I think social media has been very good for the hobby, but you have to take it with a pinch of salt. And one of the things is the algorithm. Algorithm is a word which, I'll be honest, we were vaguely aware of in school, but it just exploded into the forefront of everybody with
If
the
you
rise
did
of
advanced
social...
maths, then you knew about algorithms. Everyone else just thought,
But
that
it
sounds like a
takes you
sci-fi
down-
term.
Yeah, but it takes you down this black hole. It's
It
like,
really does.
and it's like, I once looked at a thing about Donald Trump, and now it's like, Trump. And it's like, go away! I only looked at it once.
Yes, we see that every week on the Monday Club, don't we? If we don't press the jump back to the studio button quick enough at the end of a video, it shows you, you might want to watch this. And almost every single week there's a news article about Trump in Sat. That's the algorithm.
And it's like, they maybe what they need to legislate is there should be a very easy to find and prominent means to say, I don't want the algorithm to pick my videos. And that should be, or I don't want the algorithm to suggest things at me on social media.
Yes, that could be a possibility, but what I prefer is a refined version of that. Right, hello algorithm. I looked at this. I don't want you to show me more of it.
And I must say, on Facebook, one of the things that really has started to annoy me is that it would rather push, like, we thought you might like, choose to follow, or like, you might be interested in stuff. And it's like, no, I'm not, go away. And it does it at the expense of the like 300 odd people I chose to keep up with.
Yeah.
It hides them from me. And I really,
Facebook.
I despise that. It's like, no,
Facebook's algorithm is
I chose to follow certain people. Why are you hiding them from
Facebook's
me?
algorithm is trying to socially engineer. I honestly believe
For what
this.
purpose?
Because then it can control what you see, think, and buy. It's
So
good for their
basically-
advertisers.
Yeah, and I think that's
You've
where
also
the
got to
danger
remember
is.
that their major influence in terms of the algorithm and their societal structuring is a former politician who never really got far in life because he got to the top of his small party, but never got power. But now he's in control of what you see on Facebook. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to get very, very left-wing pages coming up all of the time. I'm starting to get lots and lots of anti-trans memes coming up all of the time. I'm starting to get a lot of people who don't like me because
it makes
like
you
that.
annoyed, and when you're annoyed, you actually do things like dislike,
Exactly.
and it's an interaction, and that's what people forget.
Yeah.
Is that if you had an interaction, it doesn't matter. It doesn't go, well, that was a positive interaction, so we'll give you more. That was a negative interaction, so we give you less.
The algorithm doesn't have that kind of
And
refinement.
that's why I think that social media broadly is a good thing, but the algorithm needs to be put on a leash.
The algorithm is anything that removes the human element
Yeah.
is what's hurting us.
Because
Anything that games the human element is hurting us.
and you could argue that the most extreme of this is that if you go to countries like North Korea, say, everything is tightly controlled. What you can learn about things, what you can learn about the outside world, what you are basically told what to believe.
Yeah.
And I think that is an inherent danger of the algorithm.
Absolutely.
Is that whether by design or by accident, it leads you in that direction.
Yeah.
But we're straying somewhat here.
We are.
So this is a pre-recorded Monday Club. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can also check us out over on Patreon and help support the channel to keep making the videos that you want to see. And we've got our full merch store down below, where you can pick up your hoodies, T-shirts and such like. In fact, I've forgotten to plug the roving camera in. Otherwise, I could show them your T-shirt, which is one from the merch store.
Well, there is this ability
Yeah,
called a pair of legs.
Yeah. So come on then. Come and say.
Excuse me, Topsy.
Yeah. Oh, careful, Topsy. Yeah. Oh, what have you done? No, it's going to fall over. You've broken it. I can't believe that. You have broken Topsy's pedestal. How do you do this?
I don't know.
Oh, man. Just...
That is amazingly weird. That I don't even know how that happened.
Yeah, let's... tell you what we'll do is... This... Just...
Excuse us a moment.
Yeah, sorry, this is... It might be pre-recorded, but it's pre-recorded by Wally's. So...
This is the bit that if we were able to edit, we would have cut out, because this would never have been shown.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about.
Oh, there we go. I've de-wallified your... Right, anyway. Topsy's on his pedestal. Now, you leave him be, and you're going to... All this just to show off some merchandise. There you are, and see... In all the glory of social media, warts and all... It wasn't really worth the wait, was it? So there we go. That's the cupboard monkey. So right, go on, get back in your hole.
How did I break the table?
I think the expression is wasn't easy, but
I'm
you
sorry,
did.
Topsy. I'm sorry, Topsy.
So there we go. I can't believe what the. I think the other side's gone a bit wonky as well.
It's not my fault.
Hey, we're a real Mickey Mouse organisation here.
Mickey Mouse. We're not even Betty Boo.
Yes, you knew which quote I was going for. So anyway, what have we got running tonight? Because people always ask.
I believe you've got an awful lot of choo-choos.
Yeah, so the private owner train is going round, actually. I do like these. I got a soft spot for these private owner things. And it's behind the Robinson 8K in Great Central Railway livery. This was an NRM special. Really love it, actually. Lovely, lovely jubbly model. But I love those colourful private owner wagons. They don't really fit with my love of tops and rail blue. But I love them, so I'm having them. We've also got Gronks. There's some serious Gronk on Gronk action. I've actually been experimenting with setting up consists on my NCE power cab. And I learnt from the Hornby HM7000 system. I finally worked out what it is that is controlling consisting, and I'd never been able to set it up on my NCE. It never worked for me, and I was like, oh well, this stinks. This is total rubbish. And then I realised it's CV19. So the way CV19 works is by default it's set to 0. When it's set to 0, your locomotive will just respond to the address that it's set to. But if you change CV19 to any other number, that becomes its new temporary address, or indeed its consist address. So if you take, in the example of I've got running on the layout, the 3 Gronks, which are all handling the blood and custard train.
Which will be coming into view very shortly.
Yeah, they're coming round now. And the way that they've been set is they all still have their running number set as their address. And none of that's been changed. But CV19 on the 2 Gronks at the front and the 1 Gronk that's pushing on the rear, they've all been set to the number 8. The reason I chose 8 because they're 08 shunters. So I'll be honest, it seemed logical. And they will do that reacting to the address number 8 until such time as I write 0 to CV19. And I guess this should work for any other controller. But NCE, I'd never been able to work it out until looking at the stats for HM7000 decoders, I realised that's all the consisting function was actually trying to do, was write a number to CV19, and I don't know why it didn't work.
So if you write to 19, you can control all of them at once.
Yeah, all 3 of those are set on my controller. It's like picking a locomotive that's address is number 8. But it's almost like a temporary address. All
like
3
that.
of those are temporarily responding to the address of number 8.
Could you do they have to be on the same track? On the same line?
Technically not. I mean, the controller doesn't know where on the layout they are.
So you could have...
I could control everything here. If I set the consist address to all my locomotives to the same single number, I could control every locomotive in here from one setting.
So this would make it very easy to do chase cams, for example. Put a camera on one thing, on one line, and then on the other train would be on the same thing. And then they'd permanently be going at the same speed.
Right, what I've discovered is that some cheap and nasty decoders, or older decoders, don't seem to support CV19 change. So
I'm talking about HM7000 only.
Yeah, but the other thing as well is that just because you've set a locomotive to be consisted with another one doesn't mean they'll run at exactly the same speed.
Right.
So at speed step, say 20, 2 locomotives could run at a slightly different speed, which means if they're not coupled together, they will slowly one will catch the other up, sort of thing. So that's how it works. But at the moment, I've got 3 Gronks, no waiting. So as Topsy would say, Gronk it up, Gronk it up, Gronk it up. Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes.
The Gronk a cult is not a cult for legal and tax purposes. Your mileage may vary.
Absolutely. So how are we doing on time? So we're coming up at
47 minutes.
48, actually.
Ooh.
It's very precise because we've got a counter because this is pre-recorded today. So don't. So, but all the people who are in the chat, why is the chat not working? It is working, just not on the screen because this is a pre-record. Because we needed a little bit of time.
It would be amazing if we could at some point get an overlay of the chat as it's going on a pre-record, but that's never happened.
That would be a YouTube thing.
That would be a YouTube thing.
But then again, you didn't used to be able to do live streams.
I can't see them doing it, to be honest with you. There's no real need. Mind you, that's never stopped Google before. Google Cardboard. Let's stick a phone in a piece of cardboard and make a virtual reality hat.
Okay.
And then we all bought it because it was a good, fun thing to do.
What's this wee thing? You did. You got some.
I love Google Cardboard. It was great.
I love my piece of cardboard. I love my cardboard.
It was good. Google Cardboard rocked.
Yeah, amongst other things. It also sucked as well.
You sucked.
The whole system sucked. So let's change the angle of the dangle.
For the brew, that is true.
Yes. So, for anybody who's been playing TARDIS spotting, yes, there is one at the military establishment, and the other one was no doubt spotted close by the tunnel mouth on Jablite Mountain, the upper
To be
tunnel
fair,
mouth.
that was easy to spot.
It was, yeah, because quite frankly, they've not moved since last week. So anybody who spotted them last week is like
Had an
quid to-
advantage.
Yeah, but also do enjoy the extra visibility, so you can actually see the bit that's normally behind the chat. So that's actually the lower yard on Weir Yard. So these are actually the dispatch sidings. Weir Yard is technically a hump marshalling yard, although I never do shunting on it. I find shunting quite tedious, so it just gets dumped full of stuff.
That's amazing, because Grove Street Yard was a shunting layout.
And I
This is
hated,
a shunting layout.
operating Grove Street Yard. It seemed like a good idea, but I remember at shows finding it boring.
I'm amazed because you seem to think it was a good idea when I had the idea for cards to go with the shunting yard.
Yeah, anything to try and make it more interesting.
Because the way I see it is, we originally started with the idea, right? You have two cards. You're going from here to here.
Uh-huh.
I changed that. So you're going from here with this particular load to here
Yes.
to drop off that load via a third place with a different load.
See, that would work better on a larger layout. Because if it's all like really small, self-contained, you're thinking, why didn't the guy with the little sack trolley just wheel it across instead?
Yeah, but on a larger scale, it becomes quite interesting because then you've got to try and work it out. Right, I've got to have these loads in this order to do this, that, and the other.
Oh, yeah. And there's a lot of things you can do with small shunting layouts, actually. And a lot of people do that. We're not pretending that we invented the
Oh,
wheel.
absolutely not.
But there are some things you can do to really improve the interest of operation on small shunting layouts. Right. Anyway, in the news...
We've got news. My goodness.
In the news, we're having a little bit of time away from keyboard. And this is the bit that people on the social media influencers, I hate that term, but
But you keep using it. No one else has said it.
Yeah, it's only me and you here.
I know, but no one else said it.
No, you haven't. Say the word influencer.
No.
Oh, go on.
Influencer.
See, you said it as well. What's that, Topsy? Yes, I know, but don't tell the people that that the covered monkey likes to to sniff.
Are you finished?
No.
Something about influencers in the news.
I've forgotten.
I'll tell you exactly. What it is that we have a thing in social media where you don't see the downtime. You don't see the effort. You don't see the blood, sweat, and tears.
People, I've seen this before. People make out like, oh, it's only a 20-minute video, so it probably only took you 20 minutes to make that video.
No.
Yeah, you try it. You try making a video.
If you're making it live, it only takes you 20 minutes.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, the video, a 20-minute video would probably take you 3 or 4 hours to actually do live, and there'd be a lot of dross in it, a lot of dead ends, and
Well,
a lot of, oh, I haven't got the tool I need. Just bear with me whilst I wander off to
Well,
find
no,
it.
because that's not what I'm talking about. That's editing, cutting all that out.
Yeah.
If
Editing
you're-
takes time.
That's okay. Let me actually explain the system. If you're doing something live and you're doing a 20-minute video live, like we've been doing for the last 53 minutes,
Yeah.
then it'll take you 20 minutes. If you're recording it to edit, it could take you days. And
Yeah.
no one will know because you've edited it. If you've got good, consistent lighting and you're wearing the same top,
Yeah.
then no one's going to know.
But there's also a lot of other things like research, preparation, that kind of thing. I don't think many YouTubers would be able to just do a 20-minute video on soldering or on tops codes for wagons or product review live and just do it perfectly first time. It just
It's
doesn't
unlikely.
work like that.
Although I do
You should
know,
see the outtakes on
I
my
do know
videos.
that some people do all of their videos live. Wasn't it when we were talking about from last week's video? One of the people that was presenting in one of those videos filmed it live? One.
Yeah.
Only one.
I mean, the Monday Club is done generally live, and even when we're doing a pre-record like we are now, it's done as if it's live. So there's no editing in this. We're just sat here for 2 hours and just talking about stuff. And it's actually a lot more difficult. I should put this out there. A live stream is a lot more difficult when you don't have chat on screen to interact with.
Yes.
It's actually, I'm
one of the
noticing it
reasons
now. We're coming up on a few more minutes to go for an hour, and I'm actually struggling because we've not got that immediate interaction with people.
There's a reason that podcasts, especially more popular podcasts, tend to have 2 or more people on.
Yeah.
Because then it's a conversation.
If it was just me here, I couldn't do this.
A monologue would not work for this kind of video. But having 2 people here, you can bounce ideas, you can have to and fro's, you can have asides and then be brought back to the topic and things like that. It's more natural, it's more flowing, it's more human. A monologue, you would have had to have prepared that.
I'd have to know what I was talking about.
Yeah, so I actually absolutely agree. If you said, sit someone down and have them do a video on Tops Codes live, unless they're an absolute expert who has notes to hand as mainly just as an aide-memoire.
You'd have to practice it as well. You couldn't just sit there and just do it.
But practicing, that's extra time.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take 20 minutes to make that video. It would take 40, 50, 60.
Anyway, actually, I was talking earlier on about what's running, and I didn't get very far. We kind of stopped at Gronks and got sidetracked into CV19 consisting. So now you know, actually, it's a revelation for me as well. But funnily enough, actually, there is a locomotive running which has a HM7000 sound decoder in, and I think people might find this interesting. I just realised it hasn't been released yet, but the 4VEP, the class 423, the sound profile hasn't been made live, but because I'm in the beta testing group, that's actually the profile that's on one of
Are you going to give them an exclusive listen?
I don't...
Go on, give an exclusive toot. Yay!
That's the horn from the 4VEP. I'm going to bring it round, actually. I'm going to bring it round. And let's do this for the giggles of it. Let's have a listen to the 4VEP sound profile, because it's not. I thought it had been made live, but actually, it turns out
you're not breaking NDA or anything, are you?
No, because I quite often do first listen videos, and it suddenly occurred to me that actually, I hadn't got round to doing one for this, and maybe I should actually.
Let's do it.
Yeah, maybe I should record it. It'd be. Sorry, I've just managed to derail everything. Oh no! Oh, so
derailing the locomotives and the conversation. My goodness.
So I've got it. Can we move the microphone across so that we can get it close to this? So we can get it closer than that.
Give me a moment.
So it's currently in a Dapol class 29. Let's just move that. So we're just going to move you in. There's probably a few knocks and stuff. But let's get the sound up and running. So an exclusive first listen here on the Monday Club. It is an electric locomotive, so don't expect it to be really loud.
That's got a good bass.
And electric locomotives tend to be quite quiet. So it hasn't been fully tested. I don't think it's quite all set up as it should be. So it is quite quiet. Now, just as a little thing I should add to this, this is a previous version of the 4VEP profile. They have updated it so that the running sounds are a bit louder. But this, I need to update it actually.
I like that.
So what's going... I'm just running through some of the spot sounds. Oh, there we are. We've got compressor. Ooh, that sounded like a little bit of a squeaky fart. Oh, excuse you. Was there beans involved? So there we are. It's actually a bit difficult. I'll be honest with you. The electric profiles tend to be a lot quieter because electric trains are a lot quieter as well. So there we go. Oh, now it pipes up. So this is the class 423 Forvet from Hornby. Oh, okay. Yeah, you've. I think we've got a tumble of clowns going on here. So I'm going to move this back. Let me turn the sound off. So that is forthcoming from Hornby. But as I said before, the sound profile that's currently on the decoder on this Class 29 is the previous iteration of it. It's currently going through beta testing. And I just realised as I started playing the sounds for you that I haven't updated the actual sound profile on that to the most recent version.
And if this wasn't live and you were doing a video for YouTube that was pre-recorded, we'd have edited that.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had all the racket of other trains going round, drowning things out.
Again,
Maybe I'll do that later
social
today.
media is unrealistic because it cuts out all the bits that make you human.
Yeah, we go, oh, it's not working.
And that's what you have to... And I think that's what I want people to take away from this the most.
Yeah, let me just put this back on the tracks.
What you're comparing yourself to when you see this stuff, regardless of whether you're aware of it or not, you are, because that's what humans do. When you're comparing yourself, remember, that person has the benefit of edits, retries to make sure it's right, a lot of experience in setting things up to make sure that they get what they want, and you're seeing the end result of that. You're not seeing realism, you're seeing fantasy that's been created by someone, not necessarily because they want to produce a fantasy, but because it produces the entertainment or the image that they want to produce. It's not. It is a lie, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
I wouldn't call it a lie. It's just a curated...
Yeah, I like that even better.
Lie sounds like you're trying to be deceptive.
Curated reality.
Yeah.
That's what social media should be called.
Curated reality.
Yeah.
Because what it is it's only showing you what the person who's putting the stuff up is happy for you to see.
Yes.
So yeah, we started, I suppose, with stuff like Friends Reunited.
Yeah.
Where it was like, well, I want to show the class bully that I'm doing really well for myself, so I'll, just kind of exaggerate.
The class bully didn't care. I'll tell you that right now. They weren't looking at you.
No, they didn't care. They got their own life.
Yeah. The class bully didn't care. That's why they were a bully.
And the thing is, though, if you sat there going, I don't know who the class bully was, it's probably you.
Or maybe you were just lucky enough to not have one.
Yeah, but it's the humans are weird.
They are.
Humans.
They are. Right, I've got a question here that's come in while we've been on air.
Have you?
Yeah, Nan Burgess says, do you ever review N-Gauge?
I do, and I have.
We'll be doing more of that, won't we?
Yeah, could you sort out the screen?
Now that we've got an N-Gauge layout being built, we'll be able to show more of it and therefore do more.
I've done a few actually on. I normally use Men of the Tatters.
Yes.
Because 009 and N-Gauge, same width of track, 9mm.
Yeah.
And actually, 009 is code 80, which is what the course scale N-Gauge is, code 80 track. So the one I can think of off the top of my head, Rapido Trains, class 28. I did a full review of that.
Is that one that we have in here at the moment?
Yes.
It's that one in the corner, right?
Yes.
Next to my really nice silver American one that Tim Krinsky sent.
Yes. And a huge thank you to Tim Krinsky. It's been incredibly generous,
has.
actually,
It
over
really
the
has.
last year or two.
It really has.
But yeah, so has that just come in now? I think. Why?
It's a message that popped up directly onto your Facebook page
Oh right.
via Messenger. So, yeah, would you like to have a quick read while I talk about the Engage
you
stuff?
too.
So, the Engage thing that we're doing at the moment, I'm creating a box file layout, and you can join in. We have the instructions of how to set it up to be compatible when we stick them all together at shows or events. And of course, this is the other thing, because this is a model railway club and you are part of it, by watching the show, you're part of the club. You can own part of the model railway layout by putting together your own box file, and if you have the connections on the side, you can stick it together with other members' box files, and you can have your own meets. You can have your own club meets where you just bring along your box files, and you've got the official Monday Club layout there.
And that's the thing that actually I'm quite keen on doing, is that you don't have to wait for us to. If you wait for us to organise something, you might be waiting a while. But between you guys, if you know other Monday Clubbers, and I know a lot of you people do meet up at shows.
Yeah.
Have your own mini meets. Absolutely fine. I think that's the beauty of the Monday Club. Is it's a notional club that has no membership fees. Everybody and anybody is invited, and it's worldwide as well.
Yeah.
So it's a great way of meeting like-minded people
Absolutely.
in the hobby,
And
anywhere
that's the good
and
part
everywhere.
of social media.
Yes, absolutely. Because we've got a lot of people watching from Australia, from India, a few Indian watchers. We've got people from France, from Germany, from Sweden, from Canada.
Why do you pick out Sweden as the only one that you attempted an accent at?
Because it's the only one that people don't tend to go, oh, you're just being racist.
I don't know. They might get a bit uppity.
I can do other accents, but they either
No,
make...
you can't. That's the thing. You can't do that accent.
Shut up. Anyway, so we get people all around the world, which, I remember the bad old days before the internet, and the only things that we really knew about America was off TV programs.
TV and film. Oh,
which
my
was
goodness,
kind again, you've got this curated reality. And it would be like people assuming that the entirety of the UK is like a cross between Red Dwarf, Blackadder, and the Sweeney.
Well,
and it isn't.
no, I think a few people knew that it also had Coronation Street.
Yeah. And it's like, we live in northern Manchester. Do we come across like we could be on Coronation Street?
Yes.
No, we don't.
We come across as the kind of old farts that would be on Coronation Street as the comedy character in the background.
What, carrying a ladder? And then it's like, well, what do you want, Smack? Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, where'd you go, Smack?
We'd be there as the extras, the
To
ones
me,
that
to
don't
you,
cause
to
any
you, to
trouble
me.
and therefore don't get the focus of the episode.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you watch EastEnders and it's all like, oh, you slag, and all this kind of stuff, and it's everybody's like lurching from one crisis to the next, and actually the real world's not like that. So you could
it's
argue,
a drama.
yeah, but you could argue that this curated reality started long before social media in the form of like TV.
Yeah. Can I just point out one thing? It's
No.
a drama. You can't have a drama if you don't have drama.
Oh, right. Shut it, you slave.
It's like having a fantasy thing that has no fantastical elements. It's just a dude.
Well, so it's like what, like Lord of the Rings, where they go, oh, should we just summon up that big eagle and fly to Mount Doom and just drop the rig in from a great height? Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, we could have gone on a big quest. Oh, one of us might have actually died.
I think we all saw in the Two Towers why taking the eagles would not have worked.
Oh.
The Nazgul have flying mounts.
Yeah, but they could have. There could have been a distraction. If they didn't know they were coming, they could have gone the long way round.
Yeah.
There's ways and means. Either that, or just hailed a passing starship and had Scotty beam them to Mount Doom.
Oh my goodness, I saw that as a great cartoon on Penny Arcade one time when Star Trek Online first launched as a massively multiplayer online thing.
What, they hadn't thought about the mechanics and the people who'd munchkin it.
Well, not just that. It was a case of they did it from the point of view of, well, World of Warcraft says, can you go off on this magic quest to kill 5 boars and bring back their teeth? Or can you go to the farthest reaches of this sacred mountain retreat and bring us back the sacred egg? It's a big quest. You've got to travel there. You've got to fight the monsters to get there.
But it's
The Star Trek one. It's like, you want an egg? Right. Is this the egg? I can go back. There were like 12. Penny Arcade was great.
Yeah. So, other locomotives that are running. So we did briefly talk about the Class 29 that's got the beta version of the 4VEP sound file on. And actually there's loads of new sound files been coming through for HM7000. We've had the Hall, we've had the Castle, we've had the Lord Nelson. So there's a lot of new profiles, some of which haven't been pre-announced. I know some people are going, oh, the one I want's not on the list. And then the Class 21 just rocked up and went, surprise! Which was really, really good. But the 4VEP is one that we've been waiting for. So I just want to reassure people it is in beta testing. Now, the reason it's taken a little bit longer in beta testing is because some of the sound settings were just a little bit on the low side, so it's been rebalanced. And it's very difficult with an electric locomotive to get it sounding right. I know I've got the Bachmann GG1, the Pennsylvania Railroad GG1, and actually as sound profiles go, that can be a bit of a quiet one. So it's getting the balance exactly right. And in terms of DCC sound, I've actually found that the best ones are actually the diesel sound profiles, because you can tell the difference. You know, there's quite a difference between, say, a Class 56 or a Class 37 or a Class 08 shunter or a Class 73. All of these are very distinct, and the Class 20, very distinctive sounds. But when you've got a steam outline one, they can all tend to start to sound quite samey. They're very much more subtle differences between them. And when it comes to electric-only profiles, electric locomotives tend to sound quite quiet. There's a reason that people like electric trains in places like London, because they're not loud, noisy and smelly. It's very difficult to translate that into a model environment where sometimes you have to change things to make them appear right. And we've talked about this before as well in terms of things like the size of trees. Real trees are huge. Mm-hmm. So when you look at trees on a model railway, they tend to be a lot smaller than a comparable tree would be in real life. And it's because if you model trees to the kind of size that a mature 200-year-old horse chestnut or oak tree would be, they're huge.
Huge.
And apparently, I read the other day that giant redwoods, there's now more giant redwood trees growing in the UK than there are in California, because of, in part, climate change is making it a lot more difficult for them to grow in California. Because of droughts and such like. And because those wacky Victorians went, oh, I like these seeds. Oh, we'll just take them home and plant them in the stately home garden. And so actually there's a lot of giant redwoods growing in the UK.
This is how we got Japanese knotweed.
Yeah, this is how we got grey squirrels. In fact, it's also how, not saying it was like the same guy, just like, I shall go to Australia with a bullfrog and just release it in the wild.
Yes,
but
Derek the travelling moron bringing on these invasive species.
There's a comic idea in that. The story of how grey squirrels reached the UK.
Hi, I'm Derek. I'm a travelling moron. This week I've got a grey squirrel in my luggage. I'm going to release it in the Scottish Highlands.
What have you got in that bag, Derek? Some bullfrogs. You're not allowed them in. I'll just let them loose. No, Derek!
Yeah.
Derek, what are you doing in the garden? I'm just planting Japanese knotweed. Oh, this is going to get... Oh, no, it's taken over the world.
So, yeah.
Sorry to anyone called Derek.
Yeah, Derek's there going, no, they found me out. So what else is running? So we've got. I will eventually get through it all. There is also a Great Central Railway A5. This is the Sonic models. Actually won the award last year, the Jenny Kirk Choice Award. Lovely model.
It is quite nice.
Its only flaw was it was a bit jittery out of the box because it only has pickups on the 6 main driving wheels, and they just I couldn't get it to run absolutely perfectly.
It seems all right now.
Yeah, because I put a Stay Alive in it.
Ah, there you go.
It is a model that is transformed by a Stay Alive, and it didn't matter how clean the track was. Are we going to try and pick it up as it goes up the gradient?
That's the idea. It should become
Oh.
fast in a moment.
Bottom right, there we
Beep,
go.
beep.
Very, very briefly. You don't get to see it. Let's move over to Jablight Mountain, see if we can pick it up as it comes out the tunnel.
You're just doing this so that I have to keep pressing the buttons
Yeah,
to turn
yeah.
the cameras on.
I like that view. It's like the nice countryside scene where you've
Yeah.
got scenery. So here it comes.
Beep, beep.
This is the A5 from Sonic models, and I actually bought 2 of these. And you know, this is going back to people thinking, "Oh, Jenny just gets given all these free models."
Nope.
No, Jenny gets sent a lot of loaned review samples. Now that A5 is the one from the review, that and the BR one, but I actually bought them, and this happens as well from time to time. That at the end of a review, I'm so impressed by a model, when they ask for it back, I say, "You will be getting money. Tell me how much money I owe you. You're not getting the model back." I did that with the Cali 812s
Sometimes
as well.
you say, no, we want the model.
It has been known if it's if the pre-production models, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
But also the improved precedent model as well. I did the same with that, and I really wanted the maroon one. I think it's called Novelty. What was that?
Don't know.
That was a bit weird.
I moved the mouse and something went clunk, 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 clunk.
I think you have been. I don't know. I honestly don't. It can't be important.
There's a packet of paracetamol for her.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Sorry, we're having technical issues. If this was a pre-record, we'd have the test card Jenny pop up about now. But no, so there's quite a few of the review samples. The GWR rail motor from Kerno Model Centre, I like that quite a lot. So that was a loaner, so I purchased that. So a lot of the review samples that hang around here are because I had to buy them, which it is an expensive hobby. Let's not get away from that.
Yes.
So how
I'm
we
just
doing?
setting up because we are almost an hour and 20 minutes in, which means that, of course, we will be ready to do this.
You know, I looked at the time. I didn't look at the hour, but I looked like 7 minutes past the hour. We've got ages to go yet. And then I look over there, and it's like, no,
17 minutes past.
because you didn't start on an hour.
Yeah, 17 minutes past the hour.
Yeah. So that is a good shot, actually, watching the Gronks go past. If you're wondering about, like, they're consisted, so why are the Gronks back to back? That's because it doesn't alter if your CV29 is set to reverse direction. So some of these locomotives, for whatever reason, were set up to go in the opposite direction. So that is why one of those Gronks is facing the other way. It just had to turn it round because that's the way it was set up.
Gronky Mon, gotta shunt them all.
Oh, sorry, what's that, Topsy? Topsy says, Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes. Oh, wait a minute, there's a lot of people who are probably coming to this late.
Gandalf!
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
And Gandalf,
Thanks, Gandalf.
Yeah, but Gandalf, who is that for exactly? Because we don't know who's in the chat. But are you going to address each and every one of the latecomers who thought that they'd got away with arriving late?
No one ever arrives late, Jenny Kirk. Nor do they arrive early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Yes, that's true. That is true. I can't fault your logic on that.
So everyone who thought they snuck in, Gandalf saw you.
Yes, Gandalf sees all, and that, Your Honour, is how the court order happened.
Gandalf sees all, smells all, eats biscuits.
Yeah. Let's change the signal. Look on the screen. You see the signal?
Yeah.
Doink.
Yeah, you're being clever. Oh, I like the way that multiple ones move. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
This
they're
is good.
they're set up to be opposite
This is
of each
good. I
other.
approve.
Yeah, and look. Oh, you're watching. There we go. I don't often fiddle about with some of this stuff, and the other
But it's
one
nice
goes.
to know it's there.
Yeah, as they
Yeah, it's red and green.
red and green must always be seen. So, what else? We've all got another Gronk as well, actually, on the ABC shuttle, plus the Hellion 27 and the. Actually, it's an interesting point, but I might actually consist together the 3 locomotives that just sit on the ABC shuttle. It would make it much easier for me to control them from an NCE. If all they're going to do is shuttle,
Then you can start them and
I
stop
could consist them all on a number, and then I only need one setting on the NCE to control all of the ABC
them.
shuttles.
That is a good way of
Yeah.
getting as close to automated as you can.
And then you don't have to go like, oh, I need to start this one off, I need to start this one off, and I need to start this one off. Because actually, all 3 would do their thing. So there's a thought, actually.
Yes. Jenny Kirk, always looking for the best way
always
to
looking
quickly
to
make
be
sure she
bone idle.
doesn't have to play with her trains while playing with her trains.
Yes. Tell me you play with trains without telling me that you play with trains.
So, we have now got our first video. So this one is from Richard Tversky.
Uh-huh.
It says,
Hello.
"Hi Jenny, Zoe and Topsy Toaster. Hope you're okay and enjoyed Keithley. What did you buy?"
Whoa, Topsy, you're getting very energetic there because you got name checked. Hey.
So what did you buy at Keithley? Do we have that in a video coming up, or is that something else?
Yeah, I did. I can't remember what I bought.
This is Jenny to a T. This is how she is every day.
I did buy. I bought coaches. That was it. Yeah, I bought a load of coaches. A lovely Mark II coach in Southern Region Green. It was an FK, first class corridor, and it was I think it was an FK. It might have been an FO, but I bought it from Frising Hall Model Centre, and really great shop. They're not in the location that they were when I last visited them. I know that the shop has moved location, but great shop. And they do. Oh, hold on. We've got a Gronk that's been naughty. Actually, I'll just wait for the Gronks to catch it up and they'll give it a shove. So that's just weird that's just stopped there.
It gronked it up too much and has to have a rest.
Yeah, so let's see if we can pick up that Gronk that's just stopped on the point where there's a little bit of no matter what I do, I can't find the dead spot. So
There, that's it. It's going. So come back.
I don't know how did. So there's now a Gronk on the loose. I don't know whether
Gronk on the run.
I don't actually know whether it will catch up with the rest of the train or whether the rest of the train will catch up with it.
Come back. I only needed a rest.
You're supposed to stop.
Okay. That's different.
We'll see what happens. So
I think it's going to catch up.
So this first video from Richard Tversky.
Oh yeah, sorry, Rich. We were talking about your video, and then we just went off on a tangent. So it's hi Jenny and Zoe and Topsy Toaster. Hope you're okay and enjoy Keithley. What did you buy? The coaches, yes. From Frising Hall Model Centre. Great price on those in new condition, and the TSO Mark 1 in Regional Railways livery.
And Richard, I'm going to say much apologies for this because you sent it in on the 4th of March and apparently I missed it until now. I do apologise. I don't know how that happened.
But we're putting right what once went wrong. Right.
So let's have a look.
Okay.
If you could do me the honours, my dear.
Is this the right one? Yep, there we go. So bringing that up.
We've got the
Why
Rainhill Model Railway.
Why is there like a black box above me?
Because that is where the chat would be. Thank you for pointing that out. There we go.
I never noticed that before. What was going? Oh, it's just on that. That's why I never noticed it.
Yeah.
So this is a great
Winter overcoat. I like that. I like that name. Oh. those,
This is a nice. So this is we're seeing
those
more and
allotments are
more
lovely.
009 models out there, and I think it's great. I think 009 is a great scale.
They've got a bit of character to them. I like it. No, Gronk's not catching up.
It will.
Oh,
do.
little turntable. Nice.
I like that. So is this HOM or is that 009?
Look at that. Look at the work going on building or repairing a roof on that house. That was great.
Yeah. So this is now a different layout. Oh,
Yeah,
look! There's.
Or Cregan.
I think that's a class 21, but outwardly, a class 21 and a class 29 look very similar. Or is it a class 22? It's actually, I think, no, the class 22s are really super short. They look really like stubby. So I'm going to say that's a class 21.
I think that's a Pico station and
That is very
signal
nice,
box,
isn't it? So this is lovely.
Because Pico have a very different look to them, or is it a Will's kit?
I don't know. You're asking me like I know. Hey, look, is that a bagpiper? A pair of bagpipers there on the platform.
Yeah, it is.
Nice. Nice little bridge under there.
This is lovely.
It reminds me a little bit of there was a station.
Look at the rock faces. Oh, that was good.
Liverpool and West Lancashire O Gauge Group. And actually, this is where being a member of a club, going back to last week, being a member of a club is quite useful if you model in larger scales where you may not have enough room for an actual layout. But this is a nice little minimum. It didn't say it was 009. I wasn't paying attention at that point. Or is this smaller
I'm
than
not
009?
sure.
I think
But
actually,
I
no,
like that building.
I recognise the Quarry Hunslet. I think this is 009, but this is a really nice minimum
What is
space.
this?
It's a mine. It's like
It's
a
very
mine head.
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've got the adit coming up in the angled building, and then it'll be dumping down into. They're the Snail Beach tramway hoppers from Pico.
Nice. I'm seeing this more and more as well. The self-contained diorama with the,
Yeah.
the
I love
enclosure on
the
the top.
photographic back scenes. I should use these more. And also, when you get to the corners on this, look how it's not a corner. They actually curve it round.
Yeah.
So that you don't end up with a hard corner. And I really like that trend. It's always been around, but people are using it more and more.
Very
But
nice.
no, that is
really nice.
really nice. Using the building on the side there as the scenic break, well, to hide the transition. This is is it the Wagon and Maschenau rail buses, or is it an AEC
On
rail?
Old Lane had a strange hobby. This is great, really is.
I like that livery on the 31. That reminds me of that US livery. Oh, is it Santa Fe?
Yeah.
It's a lovely livery, I'll be honest, and it actually really suits that.
I also like the
31.
way that wall and tunnel is kind of blocking off what would be probably the way to the electronics, maybe the fiddle yard.
And look
Very
at the
nice
way
done.
the shed there. The shed is being used as a means to presumably move locomotives off stage. Or they
Yeah.
may. Now you can either have it so you can take a locomotive into the shed and it would like go off stage, or they may even just be if you could take the cab off an old Lima model or something and glue it into the gap.
This is
You
cool.
could use that as a scenic break. Now
This is really nice.
I do love it. So this is N gauge.
Yeah, and it's also American.
Oh yeah, right. So we're back to O gauge with Vale View. Oh, the Hellion 05. I do like those models. I haven't got one, but I
Again,
need
that
to get.
scenic background.
Right,
they're
look at the
photorealistic.
tree. Look how big the tree is.
Yeah, it's huge compared to that.
That is a
signal box.
lovely, lovely tree. And again, we've got that photographic backscene, but it's curved at the ends. It's a really great effect. So that's a nice signal box as well. I'm sure when the
Excuse me,
monkey
sorry.
stops coughing
couldn't
and
help it.
spluttering.
Couldn't help it.
And it shows that in O gauge you don't need a lot of stock to have a great time with a model.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about O gauge is that it's very economical with needing rolling stock and locomotives.
I almost recognise that back scene. I don't know where I've seen it.
It's not the Pico one, is it? I don't think.
No,
it's not
I mean
a
the
photographic.
town. I pretty much recognise the town. That's weird.
It's quite nice. Well, that's a Ginty. I've got a Ginty, but not in the BR livery. I've got mine in the Northern Counties Commission livery. I like
that
the way that
grass.
they've merged the trees.
I'm going to go back one second.
Oh, gronk it up! Gronk it
If
up!
I can, I'm going to go back.
I've just made gronking is denied.
Look at the grass. How real does that look?
It's nice.
Overgrown grass with like the straw-like bits of strands.
There's a lot you can do with overgrown grass.
Yeah.
It's a great area for some fun modelling. I'm looking over there, but I can look at it on that screen.
Yeah.
So this is N-gauge. And again, you get
Whoa.
so much in the
I love N-gauge. The tininess of it.
You can really make the most use of the space.
I grew up with micro machines. I love tiny stuff.
And remember, if it doesn't say micro machines, it's
not
not
the real thing. I remember that too.
Do you remember that guy who just like... I've never heard anybody talk so fast.
Yeah, but if you slow him down, he's actually saying every single syllable. It's amazing.
Yeah. But he
This
got a
is
lot of
really
work doing the taglines to adverts and stuff.
Yeah, stuff for medications.
No, like financial stuff.
This is
your
really
investment
nice.
may go up as well as down, and you may
Hopefully
lose
will
money.
go down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Haha, but the bankers will still get rich.
This is really nice. I like
It
it.
shows just how much you can get into a small area.
And there's the flat kits on the background to make the back scene, which looks really good.
I'd be interested to know how big these are, because I think there's a lot.
They're
These
not
box
very
files.
big at all.
So
They look
this one now is O gauge.
Looks really nice.
I like
O
the
gauge
foot.
is
Look at
amazing.
the footbridge. It's really nice, and it's being used
Yeah.
as a scenic break. That's actually a really good idea. So
I like
effectively, you only have to model half of the station,
Yeah.
or less than half. In fact, that's less than half. But it's a really great way of giving a sense of having a nice big station without needing to find space for a nice big station. Actually, that's pretty much like a box file layout. If you look, it's not very big at all.
But it doesn't have to be. It's got interesting stuff going on. It's nice.
Yeah, and using the four-wheel coaches is a great way of making the most of the space there.
Yes.
Dapol do some Stroudley four-wheelers.
Look at this.
yes.
Look at the waves on that water. So good.
That's like a swing bridge. There used to be one of those over the Caledonian Canal at just near Fort Augustus.
And I like the way he's got the the roundabout turntable, but it's only part of it.
Yeah.
So it's not dominating the scene, but it's there.
I do like the fish vans. I must admit,
There's some great ideas.
in
this.
O gauge, it'd be nice. I wonder if Ellis Clark Trains might do the fish van at some point, because I think that would. I know you can get a kit, but
That's
quite nice, ready to
a
run.
nice tug. I like the little boat.
You do love a good tug.
I love the shape of them. They're very interesting. To be honest with you, if you get kits, Jen, I'll build them for you. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah. No, I some of these kits I do quite like building.
Very nice. Vulcan Foundry made
That's
a lot
a
of
nice
locomotives.
J94. Then the foreground and an 8F. Oh, the MSC Hunslet. Oh, nice. DJ Models announced they were going to do that livery, and then they went bankrupt, and nobody has sort of stepped up to actually deliver that. I think MSC had a couple of the Hunslet austerities. I mean, who didn't? But a nice
Right.
little 009 layout. That is.
We're going to have to jump on because it's 9 minutes in now, and it is a long video.
Oh right, sorry. I was really enjoying.
Yeah,
it.
we're really getting into it. But you can also always find it on Richard's channel, of course. So thank
Absolutely.
you so much for that.
Thank you.
That was
I
amazing.
shall
Thank you.
press the button.
Thank you very much. Go back to activating the cameras.
Did you turn the sound off, by the way?
Yes.
So,
Thank you so much for that.
people can't see it on the screen, but it's just showing this Metcalf kit. I do love the Metcalf.
Metcalf kits are amazing. I'm still
They
making
do,
that brewery
actually.
at the moment.
I
It's
should
really
approach
good.
Metcalf actually, and
Size up to them and go, hey.
Well, they're not that. They're somewhere near Skipton. I think we should.
Really?
Yeah, I think we should organise a visit.
I didn't realise they were so close.
Yeah, I think that would be a good factory visit if they were
Yeah.
amenable to it. So, if anybody from Metcalf is watching this, then do get in touch, because I think that would be a really lovely video to come and visit and have a chat and have a look around the factory if that's possible. So right, next video. So we've got from AD Pullen, who says, Hi Zoe, I hope you are well. What about me and Zoe?
Of course you two are
just
okay.
joking. As I hope you're well. Here is a video for the Monday. I don't normally do this because I feel my videos and camera work are not great. And this is
Okay.
what we're telling about.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. The whole point of the Monday Club sharing videos is to show people that actually you can step outside that curated social media, and actually everybody is just like you.
Yeah.
So this is great. Thank you so much for sharing, and don't worry about it.
Talking about feeling that your videos and camera work aren't great, look at how Jen and I started.
Oh yeah, look at some. Well, actually, no, don't look at some of our early videos. They're embarrassing.
Exactly. See, this is what I mean. Embarrassment. You look at what people are doing now and compare it to you starting. No, you can't do that. You've got to look at how they started, and if you can't find how they started, it's because they're embarrassed about it and they've hidden it.
Can I just say, actually, on some of the big channels that got really big, if they haven't deleted or hidden their early content, then sometimes show me the videos from the oldest. It's very interesting to see where some of these multi-million subscriber channels started.
Yeah.
Very enlightening.
They'll have started just like you. Unless they had a previous work in the field, and therefore they've already got
Sometimes
the
they
experience.
spin off other channels.
Yeah,
I've
but the
seen
point
that a
is
lot.
that you can't compare how you are starting out with someone who's experienced and established, because they've already got the experience.
Yes.
You get the experience by doing it. When we started out, I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to shoot something. I had to take training on how to set the camera up and box off the right look for scene.
The first what I would term a proper model layout with scenery and stuff that I built was atrocious. So bad it's long gone.
The first videos I ever made, I don't think I even showed them because I'd done such a bad job on lining the camera up that the top of my head wasn't on screen. Yeah, we all make mistakes. Do not worry
But you
about
learn
it.
from
You learn
that.
from your mistakes. So never feel like you're not great.
Anyway,
Never
let's
feel like
take a
that.
look. So this is videos on a 462 Pacific locomotives in their collection, starting at 24 seconds in. So if you want to just...
I will jump it to 24. There we go.
Okay, so...
All locomotives in the running session are 462 wheel configuration.
So that's Pacific. So
Here
there we go.
Beep, beep.
That
Nice.
looks like... Is that an A3? I'm going to say that's an A3.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Interesting back scene as well. I like the ruins on
I
top
think
of
that's one of the Pico back scenes.
Is that Tintagel?
I don't know where it's based on. It may even be Swanage Castle. Now that's I
recognise that.
That's a merchant navy, unrebuilt merchant navy.
Yeah.
Love that. Actually, I've got at least one. I think the other one is West Country. West Country and merchant navy are very similar, as in the
nice.
Battle of Britain class as well.
Here
So-
we go.
And that's actually quite a nice set there.
Cadbury's nice.
Yeah. 7-Up.
I love the stuff with
Yeah, back
products
when
on there like that.
model railways were. So I thought it looked maroon in that light. I thought it was a princess coronation, but no, it's the. I'm going to say
Interesting
A3.
station building there. It looks a bit like a bus stop that
Yeah.
near where I grew up.
But these are lovely models.
They are. got
It's
character to
it's
them.
the original with the smooth design and the wraparound fronts. I actually don't have a version of that. I've got the later ones where they got like the separate smoke deflectors, and
Oh my god!
Oh,
I'm just
I love
reminded
the
of a
phone
cartoon. There was this ridiculous thing because one of the wagons there,
what the heck?
one of them's just decided to turn the sound on.
Yeah, it has rather, hasn't it?
That one of his carriages, spires or something.
Mm.
I read it as spiders, and it reminded me of a comic I saw. And there's this guy, and he stood behind a box, a desk at a convention, holding an empty box. And he says, "Now this one's a beauty. It's a bit big, but it's a beauty. Have a look." And then everyone around is panicking. And then the camera pans out, and it's dangerous spider convention. And he says, "Hang on, this isn't the empty box room." Oh, I did love that. This is nice.
Yeah, nice relaxing trains running session.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, it's like I like stuff like this.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've seen people poo-poo oval layouts, and actually I like having trains just running. That's kind of what Weir Yard is.
Trains running around and you enjoying them. As long as you're enjoying what you're doing.
Can I just interject?
Yeah.
That Gronk did catch up the rest of the train.
Excellent. That's good news. It got home.
Is that great? So that's an A10, an original A1 stroke A10.
The big
Nice.
boy. Oof, oof.
That's
a nice shot.
They
I like that.
reclassified the original A1s as A10s before they were rebuilt to become A3s.
Huh.
It's all very complicated, I'll have you
I
know.
like the weathering on the front of that.
Yeah.
Thing.
I used to have some of those. The Hornby engine sheds. They were always quite good. And they did a good shed as well, which was a similar profile. Ooh,
Whenever you see
that is a princess coronation. I do like that.
It looks it's got that very Art Deco style, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's very big in the 30s.
Is it Art Deco or Art Nouveau?
I'm going to say Art Deco. It's like streamlining. It's an attempt at streamlining. That's the coaches from the ambulance train set from Batman.
I saw a brilliant thing one time, and it's supposed to be an aide memoir.
Is that
Thing.
a
Dwarfs are
Britannia?
Art Deco, elves are Art Nouveau.
Okay.
Because dwarfs are all rigid straight lines and flourishes, and then elves are all curves and stuff like that. So I think that's the way around it is. Art Deco is the straight
I'll take
lines.
your word for it. I think that's a Britannia. I think.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Oh, only Fools and Horses van and Weetabix as well. I had one of those as a kid. I do like the four-wheel baggage coaches from Hornby. I thought were pretty good. I've got quite a few of them as well.
This is nice.
Yeah. So, but we're going to have to move on because we've got
I
a
do
lot
like
of videos
the look of that
to go.
one with its lines across the side.
I don't have a Britannia. I must rectify that.
You
at
must
some point.
you must get one. It rules the waves.
Yes, I need to buy more trains.
I need to get a Weetabix one for you as well.
Yeah, no.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
That
That Fraser's one, I like it. It's got that
Yeah.
old style. I love the old style advertising hoardings.
So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah,
we
that
do
was
have
great.
a lot of
Thank you.
videos to get through, but thank you so much.
I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much. And again, don't compare yourself to more experienced people. You learn from what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. So, next video that we've got here. This is from Edward Elric.
Edward Elric.
I got myself 3D scanned at the London Festival of Railway Modelling.
So let's have a look.
So we're going to have a quick look. So let's bring that up. There you are.
Oh my god. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. I can actually turn them around.
Oh, wow.
That is really good.
That is really good. And Model U do have the
That is
scanners
fantastic.
at various places. It shows that they go to, and it's a great way of getting an actual model of yourself. Now, don't forget that the Jenny model is available in the Model U catalogue, so you can find me in the catalogue.
That is
Available to purchase. You can do whatever you want with me on your own layout, and it's always actually quite
I'm always
fascinating.
amazed with the technology, like color 3D scanning. You're not just getting the
It's when they
shape.
print. You can actually now print figures in color.
That is
It's just
so good.
incredible.
I need to get myself done.
Yeah.
Or I would probably turn up in a Star Trek uniform with my communicator going, is anyone there? How about if
No,
I
you'd
come
be
over
like, we're on an away mission. I think we took a wrong turn. This isn't Rigel 4.
I wanted Ricer. This is Redka.
Oh, dear. Anyway, look, thank you very much
Thank
for
you, that's
sharing that with
brilliant.
us. So
That was fantastic. I need to do something like that.
Yeah. So Richard Swiderski says, "Hi Jen, Zoe, Topsy, and Gandalf."
Hello there.
Yeah, and in case anybody's arrived
A
late.
Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
And for anybody who's wondering, if you haven't worked out already, this is a pre-record this week because we're having a much-deserved a time off because
We haven't had a day off for, what was it? We pre-recorded one for Christmas and
for
that was about
like
it.
10 years, something like that.
We did a pre-record for Christmas and then we had the day off.
Yes, we did. Yeah. So anyway, Richard Zwoderski says, "Hi, Zoe, Jenny, and Topsy and Gandalf. Hope you're all
Hello.
well. A short video for the Monday Club showing Return to Steam 70,000 Britannia passes Beeston Signal Box in Cheshire on a test run from Chester to Crewe HS on 6th of March 2024. All the best." So we hopefully we're getting through a little bit of the backlog.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a popular feature.
Yeah.
So
And I appreciate the fact that people are so eager to send things in. I love it.
I
Because we
always
all
wa-
get to
yeah.
see different things from members of the community. And it becomes a proper community thing. And that's what I love.
absolutely, and we're always humbled that you guys share what you're up to, both model and real trains here on the Monday Club, and it really is a popular part of the show.
Look how real that looks.
Oh, will you shut up with that real nonsense? Of course it's real. Did you not read his email? Oh, God, look what I have to
scanned it.
live with. It's like,
I love that.
It was funny the first time, but this is not the first time.
I love that people now put that in the comments. It's so good. It's like, hey, this is real. This looks real. Look
It's
at
a good
that.
vantage point. You get like the power shot.
It looks like it's going full force, man. Look at the smoke. Boof, 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 boof.
I don't know, I reckon
That thing's running.
probably doing about 60,
Beep, beep.
60, 70 miles an hour.
That is
I'd
nice.
say 60 miles an hour myself. I'm not sure. Oh, just with its support coach.
What?
Which gives you actually, on a modern image layout, gives you an opportunity to run quite a short train.
Yeah.
Just a big locomotive with a single coach.
Yeah, because it happens.
Well, there. National Railway Museum, quite a number of years ago now, did their support coach as a Bachmann limited edition model. I actually got one. I must dig it out at some point.
Cool.
It's somewhere in the fiddle yard. The trouble with my fiddle yard is it's so vast and so full, I lose track of what's on which line.
That's why I said we should get cameras down there.
Yeah,
Just so you can,
limited headroom and no light. I could do. Oh, whoops.
See?
I could do. So I didn't poison his. What is this dross
I know.
that the algorithm is pushing at me? Like, why do I want to know about people dying in a submarine implosion in 0.12 seconds? I'm not interested in other people's misfortune.
But that's what the algorithm pushes, and this is a big thing with social media. There are huge problems with the algorithm pushing you into weird little groups that push conspiracies and
Echo
fakeness.
chambers. You end up in an echo chamber, and it's been
Yeah,
a serious
but the-
issue
the thing
with
is-
kids with depression.
Yeah.
They just all get pushed together and fed all of this depressing rubbish.
Yes, because it keeps them there. But here's the other thing about the algorithm. There are some people who went on to do horrible things who didn't start out watching that kind of material, but the algorithm just slid it in there. And then
that's-
all of a sudden, they're hooked.
Yeah, and that's why there needs to be legislation to
Social
rein
media
in
needs
the
to-
algorithm.
Yeah.
I think algorithm is the big enemy of social media.
Yeah.
And really, governments need to be big enough to step in and go, no, this is damaging to society, to
Yeah.
people. And we want it to effectively be an opt-in, not an opt-out.
Companies will not regulate this because they're making money, and that's
Yeah,
all
the
they
algorithm
do.
is there because
It
it
works.
actually gets them more ad revenue.
It works for them, but it doesn't work for you as the consumer.
No. And whenever you're looking at social media and you're thinking, my life is rubbish, look at all these people having a great time and I'm not... It's not like... The world is not like
Yeah.
that. The world is not having the good time.
Yeah.
It's
One,
just...
it's confirmation bias to a certain extent.
Yeah.
There are 7 billion people on this planet. You're looking at 5.
Yeah, you're looking at 5 people who have curated their content to game the algorithm in
Yeah.
effect. And like when you see YouTube channels that have meteoric rises into success, what you have to ask yourself is, how have they done that because it probably means that they're gaming the algorithm.
8 or 9,000 subscribers in less than a year is going to be either this person is incredibly talented and everyone wants to see them, like they've been lucky with a viral video and they happen to have a lot of talent, or they've gamed the algorithm to get that, because the algorithm won't push that normally.
And the thing is, I find the idea of the algorithm is dangerous. Is it actually feeding you good content that's not just good for you, good for your hobby, but also good for your mental health?
Mental health,
and
is the
that
big thing.
is the worry.
It is, and it's a massive worry.
Yeah. Right. Who have we got up next?
Okay, next up we have from Ben Whitehouse.
Says, hi, Zoe and Jenny. I wondered if you have a few minutes spare today.
Of course we do.
Always.
For you guys, always.
I know it's been a while since you sent it to when we're able to show it. It's just this section's very popular, so we're very sorry about that, but we have come to it. Says, watch this YouTube video from Harold Road. I'm not sure if you're aware of this model, but it is excellent. The reason I would like you to view the video is for the content regarding what he calls rivet count. Hold on.
So we can't show this on the show, but we can raise the issue.
Yeah, actually, it's what Iron Horse talked about. And I think in all walks of life, we talked about a little bit about this. Was it last week or the week before? The gatekeepers and the rivet counters, and the fun police.
But this actually ties in what he's saying. The reason I would like you to view the video is for the content regarding what he calls rivet counters, internet trolls, as I will put it. I wonder if you could do a section on your show tonight or in the future on this to raise further awareness of the hurt and pain these people are causing. Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about tonight.
And that is the curse of social media. Yeah. It gives a platform for nasty people to do down other people.
It can, it raises people up, but it can push you down as well if you're not careful.
You should see some of the hideous comments that I have to delete.
Sometimes
YouTube.
We shouldn't delete them. We should take a screenshot of them, put them in a folder, and put it aside. And then once we've got like a dozen of them, which should only take about 20 minutes.
Name and shame.
No, just read not even read the names. Just this is the kind of thing you have to deal with.
Usually from burner accounts, actually, to be honest with you.
Which is why naming and shaming won't work.
I thought it's interesting though. Some of the Facebook groups, sometimes some of the mega trolls behind the burner accounts get found out, and that's always amusing to watch them get called out.
Dealing with these people is just. It can become a big part of your job if you get big.
Yeah, and the bigger you get, the more these scumbags there are.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I need to read the rest of it. I wondered if you could do a section in your show tonight on the future of this to raise further awareness of the hurt and pain these people are causing. The poor guy is nearly in tears due to the circumstances of some thoughtless people, and I don't blame him. We will lose such fantastic content that every person, no matter who they are and what their skill level is doing, if folk like this decide to stop due to horrible people. Yes, 100% this. The problem with the internet is it's given everyone a voice. Not just the good people, but the bad people as well. They've got a voice and it's amplified. And
the algorithm, again, back to the algorithm. The algorithm amplifies some of these people.
Well, not even that. These people hunt for people. I made a video on my political podcast, and I mentioned the war in Israel.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the amount of people on clearly burner accounts who just flooded that because they hunt for content to attack, making such horrific remarks. It's like, it was shocking. And if I wasn't the kind of person who does not care one bit what some random person I've never met thinks, because let's face it, if I won't take a compliment from someone, I won't take criticism. But I am the minority of people because I genuinely do not care about some random on the internet. A lot of people do because a lot of people aren't on medication to keep their mood stable like I am. So it hurts and it hits you. Yeah. And when they come back and they come back and they come back, because once they've got a bite, they will come back for you again. It will drown you out.
Can I just say something? It goes back to this curated reality that you see with influencers. I mean, how many times have I said, actually, why am I bothering to do this when such vile people seem to think that they can criticise all the hard work and
It's been once or twice a week for months now because they keep coming at you.
Yeah, and the bigger you get, the more of these scumbags
the more there are. And if they feel like they've got a bite, they come back for more because that's all they're interested in.
Yeah.
And
So
you know what, Ben? Thank you for raising this. Thank you so
definitely.
much.
I think at some point we should do a full Monday Club on the issue, but we need to do it not as a pre-record. So we'll do it when we come back with the live shows. We should do that, talking about, you're not alone,
Yeah.
and you don't have to suffer in silence.
And maybe get some people to, if they want to, send a message or call in or something via the Discord channel.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, one of the things that might be good to do is get on some other YouTubers
Yes.
who've gone through the same thing. Now,
Yeah.
I know, I'm not going to name now because I've got to talk with them and see whether they're okay with doing something like this. But I know of some quite big YouTubers who have been subjected to some absolutely vile abuse from talentless scumbags who are just essentially hate the fact that they've been successful
Yeah.
at
They're jealous.
social media.
These people are jealous and they attack.
Yeah. So, and one of the things actually I do is that when vile things get peddled around and people try and defame me with whatever BS story that they've dreamt up to try and peddle around, I collect the screen grabs so I know exactly who is doing it. And it is interesting to see that when you boil it down, it's the same people with the same set of burner accounts, but it's not just me they target, but all of these people that, I'm being hassled by trolls and scumbags and stuff. You look at it and it's like the same dozen accounts.
Yeah.
It's like,
'Cause I'll tell you now, trolls, all the big YouTubers talk to one another.
Yes, we
Whether-
do.
whether
We
they-
have WhatsApp groups and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
whether you know it or not, the ones that you might not think even like each other, they're all talking. We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same community. We pass messages. We know who you are.
Yeah, and even if you don't necessarily get on a social level with a YouTuber, you will still pass on information between each other.
So-
it's like, watch out for such and such. They've been doing
Forewarned is
X, Y, and Z.
forearmed.
Yeah.
We know who you are.
So what we're going to say to anybody who's getting grief from trolls online, it's not just you.
Yeah.
And I know it doesn't help at the time, but you're not alone. And I think we're going to do an entire show
I think
covering
we need
this,
to. I
this
think it's
subject.
important.
So at some point in the future, thank you very much, actually, Ben Whitehouse, for bringing this up. I think it's a great topic, and we need to do it on a live show. So we will come back to this. Put a note in our diary to come back to this.
Okay.
But thanks for raising that. And to anybody who's getting grief from scum online, just remember you're not alone. We're here to help. And a lot of other people are here to help. And, 99% of people are all right. It's just that 1%. And they're out there spreading their scum far and wide. So, when you feel that you're being like super hyper targeted, just remember that there's a lot of other YouTubers, social media influencers who are also being targeted by the same scumbags. And I think if we talk about this and actually bring it into the light, I think that can only be a good thing for people's mental health. And it's another reason that the Monday Club is here for you. And you can bring this up on the actual Facebook group. Talk about it. Talk with other people, because I think what you probably find is a lot of other people go, yeah, actually, I thought it was just me who was getting targeted. But it's share the information so that everybody knows who the scum accounts are, and we'll just block them.
Yeah.
And I think that it is important. And I'm seeing it more on Facebook, which is good. But we need to call out the scum when the trolls start trying to spread their filth around. I think people need to stand up to them and say, no, we're not interested in your rubbish.
Yeah.
And actually bring it to the attention of admin.
And get them kicked out of the thing.
You can.
And also, here's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
The admin on Facebook groups, they usually talk to each other as well.
Yeah, and it's not Facebook. You've got to remember, it's not an AI or an algorithm. The Facebook pages
Are run by people.
have real people as the admin and moderators. So if you report stuff, it goes to a set
of admin.
What's a dashboard for admin, and they will action it. And you know,
Not just that, but I'm a member of a lot of retro groups.
oh yeah,
and
we
I
pass
see-
information
I
to
see
other
every
groups.
now and again, think, look out for this person, they're doing this, that, and the other. And then they show up on the group because they've been kicked out of the previous one.
Yeah.
They show up in your group, you kick them straight out. We
Um,
know who you are. We are after you. And the people that you're targeting, they're going to get our support. You're not.
And the interesting, actually, as well, is that there's a lot of moderators and admin people from not just Facebook groups, but actual internet fora as well. And we do talk to each other,
Yeah.
and we share information. And
Because
it's
we-
interesting how we see the same names crop up.
Yeah, because those people aren't members of the community. They're just looking to target
They're just
members.
leeches.
Whereas we are members of the community. We're all here for the same reason. We
That's
all
it.
want the
We've
same
been
goal.
here for years and years,
Yeah.
and you know that's the thing. You know, we have been here through thick and thin, through lockdown. We're always here for you.
And so are the other admins of the other groups.
And just remember,
We're
you know,
all on
if
the
you-
same side.
If you're feeling down, then just talk to somebody. Don't
Yeah.
feel that you have to bottle
Don't
it
bottle it up. Never bottle it up. It makes it worse
because
in
you're
the long
not
run.
alone, and that's the important thing. But we're going to come back to this
Yes,
in a future
absolutely.
episode. So
Right, we
thank you
have
so much for
time-
that. We're going to move on to
We
the
have
next.
time for one more.
Keep looking at the wrong clock.
We have time for one more video. And again, we're going to go for one from Richard Swiderski because it came up next. And he says,
Hi Jenny and Zoe, I hope you're both well. Another short video to show the Monday clubbers. This is 70,000 Britannia again, but also Sir Nigel
Gresley's
Gresley's been
arrived.
through Cheshire, and this is on the 14th of March.
so, in a moment when I get the button to come up,
When we get through the adverts. it's like
all I'm doing is looking at the timer. I don't even know what advert this is.
yeah.
Right, go for it.
So there we go.
Giants of Steam.
Giants, they're huge.
Here we go. Sir Nigel Gresley going for a run.
Yeah.
Hartford. The ford where a heart is.
As opposed to Hartford spelt with an E instead of an A, which is a very long way away. It's down in Hertfordshire.
My goodness, it really is. Wow.
Yeah. It's a great location, actually.
Beep, beep.
The only thing you got to worry about here is it does get bowled an awful lot.
Look at that steam. Oof.
It's interesting how the platforms here were a lot longer. Oh, they're double-headed. Right, okay, that makes sense. Nice. So with right, so they've basically formed everything up into one train, so it only uses one path instead of multiple. So that's the two locomotives with their support coaches and a 37 in tow as well, which will be kind of the loco to run the electric train heat and such like.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the logo on the back going, I'm going for an adventure. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, I don't even have to work hard. Hey, look at me coasting along.
Beep, beep.
No, I think they go toot toot.
I like beep, beep instead.
Yes, you do, because
That's
you're
really
weird.
nice.
How are the tumble of clowns tonight? Oh, it's the straggler. Has he not got a trombone? Oh, there he is. Nice.
Look at that.
I think it's the final A4 that's running.
It's the
That can run on the main line. In fact, run anywhere. I think because is Bitten still? I'm not sure whether Bitten is still running, but certainly Union of South Africa has finally sort of been retired from running, which it is a shame. So thank
that was
you
lovely.
so
Thank you
much
so much.
for that. So we've come. Gosh, it's gone quick,
It
hasn't
really
it?
it always does.
So thanks for joining us for this pre-recorded, because we're having a break. The pre-recorded Monday Club. It's always an absolute honour to have your company, and we've primarily been dealing with the topic of
YouTube and whether, well,
well, not just
YouTube and social
media.
and whether it's good or bad for the hobby. I think it's an important issue,
Yes.
especially because it's such an influence. You'd never get away from it now. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's why I always feel sorry for youngsters, because when we were at school, if you're getting bullied, the bullying stopped when you went home. It wasn't all the time, and you got weekends and holidays off. Now, the bullies can keep up the bullying
Block
24/7.
This is what I always have to
They
push.
find ways round that.
I know they do.
Burner
but
accounts.
I know that, Jen. Let me finish what I'm saying. You can fight it. You can block stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, they come back, so you block it again. You win. You control what you get. And there's this weirdness that some of these idiots start pushing. Like, oh, you block people. Oh, what? You can't take it.
It's like,
no. It's not about can't take it. It's that I don't want to hear from scum.
Yeah.
And I am perfectly allowed to say, you are not welcome.
Yeah.
Always remember that. Your life, your rules. Those people aren't welcome.
Yeah.
Kick them out. Never feel like you have to listen to them.
You do not have to tolerate scumbags
Yeah.
in your life. And just remember, you're not alone. And, these scum do target so many. So we're going to have a full topic on this on a future show. And it will be a live show because I think it's important to have the interactions as well. But look, it's been great having your company. Thanks for joining us tonight. And hopefully we'll be back for a regular Monday Club shortly. I think we're having just over a week off. So next week's Monday Club will also be a pre-record. And I think what we should try and do actually is get through some of the backlog. We've had so many people send in.
We've got 22 backlog videos.
So I think we should start early for the next one.
Yeah, do an extended
and
session.
actually do try and get through all of those. I think is a good thing to do. So do stay tuned for next week. Coming up this week, we have got in the pre-recorded videos. Wednesday is going to be a look at the bargain model that I managed to find and pick up from Ellis Clark Trains. And actually this has been sat in the buffer for so long. I feel a bit embarrassed. There's just been so busy these last few months. It's one of the reasons we needed time off.
Yeah.
But we're having a look at the model that I got at a bargain price from Ellis Clark Trains. Friday's video we're going to be looking at, I'm trying to remember which one it is.
I can't remember. So this is the problem that we've got. We are running on empty, essentially. That's why we're having this break.
I think actually it might be the Keithley Model Rail Show.
Yes.
Yes. So we're going to be taking a look at. I filmed all of the layouts at the Keithley show. I know this is like a month ago now, and I'm really sorry about this. It's just been so busy. So you can imagine this is what you don't tend to see about YouTubers and influencers. I hate that term.
You don't see the behind the scenes.
You don't see that actually you work 24/7.
Yeah.
For if you worked out your hourly rate, it would be
pennies.
like pennies an hour. And that's the bit that you don't see.
You can't look at the top people earning millions because the
'Cause
average
there's not
person
many of
isn't.
them.
No, it's like 10.
Yeah.
There's thousands, millions of channels.
Yeah,
Maybe
and even
10,
the
20
ones that you
people
think
top.
are probably going to sleep sat in a huge, great big pile of cash,
They're
like
not.
Scrooge McDuck style. No.
No.
So anyway, look, until next time, you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now. Topsy is excited.
This worked out because I've just accidentally turned the live chat back on.
The train now departing is the 2107 service to Grove Street Yard, stopping at Mineth Tatis, Tatis Newith, Pittsburgh somehow, Eindhoven, Butzfarting, Boxton on File, Weir Yard again because we got lost, and then on to Grove Street Yard. That's the 2107 service to Grove Street Yard.
If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes.
For every train there ever was that's gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Monday Club for everyone. So come on, have some fun. It's what you want to do today. And just remember that the Monday Club is for everyone. And if you subscribe, I won't sing this song anymore. So
She
subscribe.
will.
Subscribe and ring the bell. Don't forget to hit the like button and share it as well. It's what you want to do.
Jenny, please
And I
stop.
sing like poo.
Jenny, please stop. I want to press the button.
Press that button.